Contender Series Week 5 has absolutely delivered again. I will give you a short little breakdown and insight what happened in every single of the 5 fights in this video. Hello and welcome to Bloodsport MMA.
Assalamu alaikum, Dagestan.
It is still early morning for me in Europe, so please forgive me guys for my looks, but let's look into what transpired yesterday night or this night, right? Let's look into the first fight. I made some notes during every single fight in like a little notebook. And my note for the first fight that I made was brain damage and heart.
Brain damage.
I mean, maybe it's because it's a woman that I like felt for her a little bit more and like didn't want to see her take so much damage, but that was really hard to watch. Like I can't imagine being like a friend of her or something and watching that, because she got dropped. I don't think it says on Topology, but she got dropped like, I would say 5 or 6 times. Not dropped like little slips or something, like dropped hard. Mark Smith was close to stopping that fight several times. I mean, look how she looked. That wasn't the second or third round. Look how she looked. She was battered and bruised. What the hell? Go away. Topology, what is going on with you? Why you make so much advertisement? Goddamn, look at that. It's full. Anyways, I mean, they were both such good prospects, 6-0 and 8-0. When I watched her video in the beginning, I was like, she's gonna win for sure. She has like multiple world titles in Muay Thai, multiple BJJ titles and all of that, and she's just 24 years old. I was like, holy crap, this girl is like, she's gonna be UFC champion. When I watched the preview of the fight, right? I was sure she's gonna beat her. She also looked much more technical. I also wrote down power versus dynamic, because she was just the typical Brazilian Jessica Andrade style. I think she even trains with Andrade, that just throws in the pockets, hooks and overhands, and has the power of a man behind her punches. That's exactly what transpired, because she was much more technical, used her footwork, calf kicks, teeps, whatever, beautiful striking, but her strikes did not really have an impact, whilst she just stalked her down and waited for one punch to land out of the 5 she threw, and the one that landed dropped her. It was crazy, right? But she's just 24 years old. She's 28. I mean, that was an absolutely amazing fight. Dana White ended up signing both of those ladies, which I honestly, when I watched the fight, I had a feeling that he's going to do that, because they need female prospects. They are both absolutely phenomenal fighters. And I mean, for the brain damage she took tonight, she deserves the contract. I was really hoping her corner is going to stop it at some point, because even though in the last round she made a good comeback, I would say, but she took a beating in the first 2 rounds. If Mark Smith would have stepped in and stopped the fight, I would have not been mad. Go watch the first 2 rounds. It was horrible to watch. She got knocked down all the time, came back up again, so a lot of heart, but also a lot of brain damage for her, right? That was the first fight of the night. Then the second fight of the night, I mean, a absolutely brutal KO. What I wrote down about him immediately was one trick pony, 0 stand-up. The first exchange they had, you saw that he cannot strike. His chin was up in the air. He stood tall as it gets. Maybe I can show you, because you know how it is with the UFC. I cannot press play or anything, but the first exchange they had, yeah, I cannot really show you, but you get the message. The first, look how tall he stands. The first exchange they had, he immediately got hit, and I could immediately see, okay, his striking is horrible. Then he grabbed him, though he's a Division 1 All-American, which is a absolutely phenomenal athletic accomplishment, right? That's one of the best wrestling accolades you can have in at least America, and America is one of the best wrestling nations in the world, so you get the message, right? And he showed that he's an amazing grappler. He took the back immediately, beautiful transition, jumped on his back and all of that, but the other guys stayed very calm and composed, waited for him to fall off the top, and then as soon as they started striking again, the fight was over so quick. Look at that. Mind you, this is 5 seconds that I go forward and backwards. 5 seconds. Here, they disengage, and here the fight is over. It was absolutely brutal how he knocked him out. Maybe I can show you a little bit. Maybe not. Yeah, okay. I don't want to get banned from the UFC, so yeah, brutal KO. Honestly, brutal KO. He sat there on the mat like that, knocked out on the fence. It was a brutal KO. He was lucky that he didn't follow up with any shots. He just knocked him out cold, and that was it. Really a one-trick pony. I mean, I'm glad, and this sounds, I sound like an asshole now, but I'm glad he lost because he does not belong to the UFC with that stand-up. Honestly not. And he's a crazy prospect. I mean, he's 22 years old. Just had one of the most brutal knockouts I've seen in the season of the Contender Series. Looked absolutely phenomenal. Even when he took his back, stayed calm, composed, showed what he's made of, trains with Jailton Almeida, so he definitely has good grappling as well and works on that. If you know Jailton Almeida, light heavyweight contender, right? So absolutely great signing for the UFC. Obviously, he got signed, right? Then the next fight. The next fight was kind of crazy. I wrote down before the fight, mismatch. Because he got the call 10 days, I think on 10 days notice for this fight, whilst he was already scheduled to face someone. He was 8-0 and he was 3-0. Normally 3-0 guys don't even get a call for the Contender Series. He got the call for the Contender Series, and then I saw the preview and he was like, yeah, he works full-time as a high school teacher and all of that, and trains during his breaks and stuff. And I was like, oh no, like this guy is like full-time in it and all of that. He's still a high school teacher. Comes from a great gym though, Sarah Longo. If you know the gym in Long Island, New York. Great gym. Also was cornered by them. And yeah, I really thought this fight's gonna be a mismatch. And in the first round, he dominated him until like 1.5 minutes to go in the last round, where he got him in a crucifix and he had no way to get out. He just beat the shit out of him. Then the second round, he kind of dominated him again. But again, no round was really like pure domination or interesting to watch. It was a horrible fight. Both guys fought horrible. He also missed weight by like 7 pounds. He looked like a heavyweight compared to him. And both guys just, in my opinion, do not belong to the UFC right now. Like I really felt like I'm watching an amateur fight. Honestly, it was horrible. The technique-wise and stuff, like the fight was like you were watching it at 0.5 speed. It was horrible to watch. But the finish was so crazy in the last round. He was so tired. You have to see. It was 8-0. Every finish came in the first round. He's never been out of the first round. In the third round, he was so tired. He got him to the ground somehow. Had a position that you normally can't get a choke with. He was like half in mount, half on his back, like sideways, and choked him with like one arm. The second arm was just like not even really pulling to trying to choke him. It was just like one arm and one arm rear naked choke, but like a sideways rear naked choke. It was so weird, and he tapped. That was crazy. Everyone went nuts for him. And that's also, and I also wrote down stupid hack kicks. Like he showed his fight IQ is not the best. He was tired as frick in the last round. And he's the heavy boy. What he did immediately in the last round was throwing like 3 back-to-back head kicks. Head kicks take so much energy out of you. If you're that heavy, they come so slow, so predictable. And of course, he fell down with the last head kick. And because of that, nearly lost the fight because he then jumped on his back. He made the reversal and finished him, but you get the message. Not the best fight IQ, but I love this guy. I don't know. I always had to think of Freddy's Frozen Custards, the burger chain in the US, because everyone was just always screaming, Freddy, Freddy. Like in the corner, Ray Longo was saying Freddy like 100 times during one round. Mark Smith, they both had like 500 warnings between each other for fence grabs, punch to the back of the head, glove grabs, whatever. Just a horrible fight. And all you just heard was Freddy, 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 Freddy. So I wrote down, what the fuck, Freddy? But yeah, he's a cool guy. I like this guy, but Dana did not give him a contract. He gave him another chance in the last week of the Contender Series, which I'm not sure how cool this really is for him, because he had 10 days to prepare for that fight. Dana then said, yeah, now you have time to prepare for real. Like, bro, we're in week number 5. I think there was like 9 weeks or something like that in the Contender Series, right? So that's like 4 weeks to prepare after a 3-round battle, right? And as you can see here, the fight was really not entertaining, a lot of clinching and all of that. Maybe you can see the finish here. Let me see. Come on. Yeah, here maybe. Come on. Yeah, look, you see here, he's like halfway mount, halfway in the back, and he finished him. Aljamain Sterling going crazy. Oh, that was so cool. Yeah, the bar went crazy as well here. Yeah, oh shit. That was really fun. But that was fight number 3. Fight number 4. Oh my goodness, guys. Fight number 4. I just wrote down, what the F. I mean, if you don't have UFC Fight Pass, if you have no way to watch this fight, find some way to watch the fight. It felt like watching a pro fighter, a UFC fighter, fighting, I don't know, a 16-year-old that makes his regional scene amateur debut. This was nuts. It was 36 seconds. He just the only thing he did was making the referee fall. He knocked him down. He fell down. The referee wanted to kind of, I don't know, get to a better angle. And the referee fell over his legs, fell down. He then tried to get up, stood up, boom, immediately got hit with a left hook and got knocked out cold. One of the most brutal knockouts you'll ever see. But before the fight, I wrote down murder, by the way. It looked like murder. But before the fight, I wrote down 12-5, but minus 700. What the hell? Because maybe you can see the tail of the tape. No, you don't. Okay. But he was 12-5 coming into that fight. And he was, I think, 9-1. And he was a minus 700 favorite. Where do you see a 12-5 guy? That's not a particularly... It's a good record, but it's not a particularly good record for the Contender Series or something like that. You lost, that means you won 2 fights and then lost again, won 2 fights and lost again, won 2 fights and lost again. It's not like you're on a crazy streak and no one knows how to beat you. You know what I mean? Here he dropped him with that right hand. Maybe you can see it. Oh, he was already out, yeah. He dropped with the right hand, the referee tripped over. Here he tried to get up, and when he tried to get up, now look at the left hand. And boom. And out. And out cold. That was crazy. As you can see how he falls. Ben Askren looks like Ben Askren as well, in a way. So that was absolutely nuts. And he, of course, got the contract. Apology. Got the... All right. Then the main event. The main event was... I really had... I laughed my ass off at the end of the main event. I will tell you why. Okay. I wrote down Tyson Fury body. He has the body of Tyson Fury, bro. I mean, look at that. Wait. Where is it? Maybe you can see it here. Look at that. He has a Tyson Fury body, bro. Big respect to him. I think he was 530 pounds. Had no real idea what to do in life. And now he's 260 pounds. I think that's what he weighed in as. And yeah, fights in the UFC. So pretty cool story. But of course, if you lose so much weight, you of course have a lot of loose skin. I'm not trying to make fun of him with that, but he uses it as his I don't know, his signature look. That sounds wrong, but I can't find the right word. But he always plays with his titties and stuff. He uses it to his advantage, which is very smart. Because people can't really make fun of you if you make fun of it yourself, right? But it reminded me immediately of Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, if he would be, I don't know, in a rocker gang or something like that. Do you say rocker gang? How do you call Hell's Angels? How do you call that? You call it rocker? We call it rocker. I don't know if that's the correct term in English. Write in the comments what the right terminology would be. But I wrote Tyson Fury body versus Big Mouth. Because this guy, I was hoping so much that he gets knocked out. So much. God damn it. Not you. You're cool. Where's the other guy? This guy. He talked so big. I like when people are a little bit cocky, bro. But he was I see no one in the heavyweight division that would make me train harder than I need to. Blah, blah, blah. I think everyone in the heavyweight division right now, every contender needs to look at me and they will train as hard as they ever train in their life because they will be scared for their life, blah, blah. He basically said the worst thing you can say, that there's no one that makes me train hard. What the hell are you talking about? He acted I don't know, he's a champion already. And I was hoping so much that he gets knocked out. And I said it's a rocker fight. As I said, maybe it's not the right terminology, but look at this. Maybe you can see the tail of the tape. They look like two freaking... It looks like two rockers that fight in a bar. Like a Hell's Angel against a... I don't know, depending on where in the world you're from, there's different gangs. Like Bandidos or something like that. It looks like two guys from rival rocker gangs fighting each other. Doesn't it? Looks like two real street gangsters. Which is kind of cool. I kind of like that. And the fight looked that way as well. The fight looked that way as well. 30-pound weight difference is crazy. I don't know if he could not make light heavyweight, maybe if he would try to, but yeah, the fight looked like a street fight because they were just swinging from the get-go. There was not much technique in it. And my comment that I wrote down was, talk now, bitch. I wrote it down here. Talk now, bitch. Because he made me so pissed with his talk. And look what happened to him. And look at the left hand. Not here, okay. Boom. No, not this one. It was close distance. God damn it. This is not 5 seconds that it goes forward. You cannot tell me that. I'm trying my best for you guys so you can see it without the UFC banning me. I think now the other guy comes forward as well. Yep, now look at the left hand. Boom. And out. And then he followed up with like a couple of nice elbow strikes and knocked him the F out. And I really like this guy. I don't know, like a real blue collar, real American, you know what I'm saying? And was he was 5-1, now 6-1. An exciting heavyweight. That's exactly what we need right now. 27 years old. He has everything in front of him. At 27, you have like 10 years left in your heavyweight career at least. So he's at the beginning of his career. I hope they slow track him and do not throw him right in there because we need good heavyweights. We need to build this guy because I think he has potential. I really like him. His nickname is Concrete. Absolutely amazing because you know, a lot of cool nicknames, and Bruce Buffer screaming, Steven Concrete Asplund. Sounds really cool. So yeah, I'm really happy for him. I hope he eats some humble pie and maybe comes back stronger. Who knows? But yeah, this week of Contender Series was absolutely phenomenal. It was very fun to watch. It's always my highlight of my Wednesday morning when I wake up watching the Contender Series. And it did not disappoint. Again, week 5 is done. We have about 4 weeks left, and I really look forward to watching them. Write your opinion in the comments. What did you think about the season or about this episode? Who was your favorite knockout, favorite guy, favorite girl, whatever of the episode? Write your opinion in the comments. You guys like this video, subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate that. Check out my merch, bloodsport.net. Pieces like this, martial arts save lives. A lot of other cool pieces. Check it out, you guys. Link in bio. Stay bloody. And until the next one. Bye-bye. Bloodsport out.